strange world. Like a candle, you were meant to share the fire. I don't know where we come from, I don't know where we go, but my arms are made to hold you, so I will never let you go. 'Cause you were born to change this life. You were born to chase the light. 'Cause you were born.
Hey everyone, sorry it's been a while since I made a video. There just hasn't been a whole lot that's been going on. I need to make a video every week. So, of course, they're not going to be as frequent as I was trying. Well, I guess I wasn't making them too frequently before anyways. But obviously they're going to be less frequent than that until I manage to get pregnant again. But, something that I do want to say, and that I do greatly encourage for any of you that have gone through this or are currently going through this, or you know somebody who has or is, I do suggest that you find a support group. I thought about going through therapy, but in the end I decided not to, and that was after I found my local Compassionate Friends group. It is a support group for fathers and mothers that have lost children, and it doesn't matter how you lost your child, whether it be that you lost them when they were 44 to cancer, or you lost them in a car accident when they were 6, your child lived for 4 hours, or you miscarried 15 weeks and 4 days into your pregnancy. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's for anybody who's lost a child at any point in their lives. And, you know, my first meeting was last month, and I was so freaked out at first because I go in there and I realized that these were parents who lost their children in all these different ways, and I was freaking out thinking I was going to be the only person there that had a miscarriage, and I was thinking, you know, nobody's going to get it. But the facilitator had, when I told her how I lost my child and that I was going to be coming to the group, she made sure that there was another woman there who had also experienced a miscarriage, and so I did feel a lot more comfortable because of that. But no matter what, everybody in that group was very understanding. They were very compassionate, and they just helped me a lot. And the girl that was there that had also had a miscarriage, she'd had hers fairly recently, and it just, talking to somebody who's going through it right now is so much different than talking to somebody who went through it last year, or 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's different having somebody to talk to who's going through this right now. I spent an entire day Facebooking with this woman, and ever since, I have felt so much better. I mean, you know, I talked to her about a lot of the same stuff that I've talked to other women I know who've had miscarriages about, but like I said, it's different. Talking to somebody who's going through it right now, it's still raw for them. She's not telling me, you know, you need to learn, find a way to move on, you need to find a way to get past it. Things are going to get better. I mean, she understands that right now, things don't feel like they're going to get better. Things don't feel like they should be getting better. Right now, I've been going through this thing where, you know, I go an entire shift at work without thinking about Alex. And then I get home and I do, and I automatically feel so guilty that, you know, he wasn't the first thought in my mind for the full 24 hours of the day. Because, you know, I feel like if he was alive, then he would have been. I would spend the whole day thinking, you know, how's my son doing? How's my son doing? I hope he's doing okay. I hope that my mother-in-law remembered to feed him the right things. I hope that I pumped him the formula. You know, I would be thinking about that all day long. And so I feel really guilty that, you know, he's not in the forefront of my mind all day. And she understands that. And she understands that telling me that I can't let it make me feel like I can't be happy. She understands that telling me that is not going to make me feel better. But she does understand that, you know, letting me say it and me knowing that she understands because she just went through it herself, it makes me feel a lot more okay. So, like I said, if you or somebody you know is or was going through this, I suggest find a support group. You know, I don't know how much therapy would have helped me, because I doubt that I would have found somebody who has helped me as much as this woman has and as much as this group has. I went to this group this week or not this week, this month. They meet the third Monday of each month. And, you know, there was 2 mothers who lost their kids to accidents and a couple that had lost their son to the military. I guess not to the military, but he lost it in the military. And, you know, they're very understanding, and it's the type of acceptance that you really don't expect. So I do suggest find somebody to talk to. If you don't want to do therapy, find a support group. I know it seems like it'd be really hard to talk about it, but they're not going to pressure you. You can talk about it at your first meeting or you cannot. I talked about it at the first meeting, and I bawled the entire meeting. And I talked almost the entire meeting. They told me that was perfectly okay because most of them during their first meeting spent the whole time talking. And it just felt so good to get it all out, to have people understand. And to have people not act. I mean, it's not like people have to directly like, oh, she should be over it by now. But there always seems to be like this kind of air of, we're tired of hearing about it kind of thing. But you know, the way I look at it is, I'm going to stop talking about my son the same time that you stop talking about your kids. Because Alex was just as important to me. And you know, somebody at the group told me that, you know, no matter when you lose a child, whether you lose it like I did, or you lose them when they're 50 years old, the pain's the same. Because no matter how long you've had your child, if your child dies before you, there was never enough time. You didn't get to spend enough time with them, no matter how much time there was. On the other side of things, you know, work's good. Work is really good. Well, sort of. I moved to a different department at work. I'm no longer a cashier. I moved to the health and beauty department, which is kind of awkward because, you know, I don't wear makeup. I don't particularly care intensely about how I look. So it's kind of strange because I don't feel like I know very much about the department. But I feel better being over there because, you know, as a cashier, there's like this constant parade of pregnant women and infants and people who hunt me down because I'm such a good cashier that they want to come through my line. And I'm not saying that with ego, I'm saying that from observation. And I've actually been told by people that they hunt me down because they think I'm the best cashier in my store. But, you know, those are the people who knew that I was pregnant. I don't want to hear people ask me, how's the pregnancy going? You're looking like you're getting your belly and stuff like that. I was sick of hearing it, and it was either quit or move to a different area. And so I moved. And, you know, I see a whole lot less people like that. And, you know, people don't expect to look for me anywhere else in the store. I've been a cashier for 4 years, so they expect to see me up front. So a lot of people probably think I quit or I was fired or something. And so, you know, they find me like, oh, hey, and, you know, I tell them I moved. And it's, instead of thinking, you know, every other person could potentially be somebody who knew I was pregnant, I have a chance of maybe once a week running into somebody. So it's a lot better. The job is a whole lot harder on me. That's because there's just so much to do. But I do like constantly being busy. It keeps my mind off of things. You know, like I said, I feel guilty about that, but at the same time, I realize that, you know, I've got to let myself heal, and I think what one of the people said, you know, that, you know, being able to distract yourself is your brain's way of letting you heal. So, you know, I feel guilty, but at the same time I realize that, you know, this is part of the healing process. It sucks, but it's part of the healing process. And, you know, what I've been talking about, I don't know how much of it I've talked about in other videos. You know, I can't bring myself yet to watch the videos that I've been making regarding my miscarriage because, you know, I don't feel like I can handle it. I mean, some days are okay, other days aren't. You know, somebody can come to me and say, oh, hey, how's the pregnancy going? And I can, with a straight face, without crying, tell them, you know, I'm not pregnant anymore. But another day, somebody says something, I'll just break down crying, and I can't stop crying for 30 minutes. I'm standing there silently crying while I'm stocking the shampoo. I mean, it's a roller coaster. And I'm told that's normal. You know, being told that it's normal doesn't help a whole lot, but, you know, feeling like you're not losing your mind, which is especially easy for me to feel like because, you know, as an autistic I realize that I'm weird, and I realize that a lot of times I react to things a lot more strongly than people expect, and you know, I can blow things out of proportion, and I can overreact, and so, you know, throughout all of this, I keep stopping and thinking, am I overreacting? Am I still mourning when I shouldn't be? Am I blowing everything out of proportion? I mean, am I taking a situation and making it more than it should be? And you know, I've been thinking about that this whole time. And you know, having somebody there to validate my feelings and tell me I feel like this too, and they're not autistic. Knowing that I am not acting crazy. I am not blowing this out of proportion. I'm not being insane. I'm not being weird. You know, in this one instance when I feel like I am being crazy, it's nice to know that I'm being normal. The only other thing to talk about is that somebody did suggest that I should get tested, or get my thyroid tested, and I did. It was low, and I will say I'm a bit worried, but my doctor said that it could just be because I had a miscarriage. So I'm getting tested again on the 2nd, and I will try to make another video then to tell you guys the results about my thyroid. Hopefully they'll be normal. If they're not, then there is medication that apparently I could take during pregnancy and everything, so that, you know, if I'm pregnant, I won't have to worry about it causing another miscarriage. If having a low thyroid level, it could have been the cause. Like I said, if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. I can't I can't look at those videos yet to review what I have and haven't said. And so, you know, if I'm repeating this part, you know, I'm sorry. But in case I forgot to tell you, I do not have any genetic mutations, and I do not have any chromosomal issues. All of that was passed. And you know, with that, I freaked out because I'm like, you know, I wanted an answer. I wanted to know why my son died. And now with the thyroid issue, now that I might have an answer, I'm losing my mind. I'm going crazy waiting for the 2nd to be here to find out if there was something wrong. I think part of it might be because if it was a thyroid issue, then, you know, last October I tested fine. And I feel like, you know, if that could have been what caused it, then it was something that could have been prevented. And I realized that it couldn't have, because, you know, I wasn't going to think that, you know, every few months I should get my thyroid checked or something to make sure it's normal. I wasn't going to think of that, so it wasn't preventable, but it was. So I will let you guys know how that's going. Hopefully as soon as I'm done getting the test and getting the test results, and hopefully everything will turn out okay. I am going to try, like I said before, to try and make as many videos regarding my miscarriage as possible, so that you guys know how I'm feeling, how I'm reacting. So hopefully it'll help some of you guys too. I am going to also try and make a few other pregnancy videos, not regarding my own pregnancy obviously, but regarding your pregnancies, because there was a couple of videos that I wanted to make during my pregnancy that wasn't directly about my pregnancy, about autism, but just about pregnancy itself, that I am going to try to make. I'm actually going to make one of those here in a minute, but so hopefully these will both be up soon. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope the video helps you. I hope that what I'm going through helps you too if you're going through the same thing. And you know, I hope what I'm going through helps encourage any of you women watching it to look up miscarriage, to learn about it, so that you're more prepared than I was in case it happens. I know nobody wants to think about it happening. Nobody wants to think, okay, this pregnancy could end in tears. But in case it does, please, please read about it. I wish I had known more, because I think I could have handled this a lot better had I had the information, had I realized that 1 in 4 pregnancies ends in miscarriage, rather than thinking that it was like a 1 in a million. I mean, there were 4 other women pregnant in my store with me. So 5 pregnant women in one store, chances were, statistically, that one of us was going to lose their baby. And it just happened to me. anyways, have a great day and have a happy Thanksgiving.